home again. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Barakatah Yahweh Malach Hawalam. It is blessed are you, Yahweh, King, everlasting King of this universe. We come to you now, Abba Yah, humbled as your servants, Abba Yah, as your children, giving you all praise, honor, and esteem. Toda Rabba Abba for blessing and keeping us throughout the week, for providing for us, Abba Yah, all that we need. Putting your hedge of protection around us, Abba Yah, to defend us from your enemies, Abba Yah, that mean hate, harm, and danger to your treasured people. Toda Rabba Abba. And as we enter into your Shabbat day, Abba Yah, we are just so grateful that you set aside this day, Abba Yah, that we can come to you, Abba Yah, and forget all our worries and commitments and distractions, Abba Yah, and just bask in your glory and learn about you, Abba Yah. Come back to the heritage, the culture that you gave us. And because of our forefathers, we lost it. So Abba Yah, as we go into this cultural and language study, Abba Yah, we just ask that you bless us with your Ruach to guide us and lead us in the truth. Inspire Moreh Samak to deliver your message with clarity and emphasis, that it hits its target, Abba Yah. And bless us with a heart of flesh, Abba Yah, not stone, that we can receive it. Give us the courage, Abba Yah. Feed our zeal, strengthen our faith, Abba Yah, that we can take your message and endure to the end. Thawadah Rabba Abba, Todah Rabba Abba, for allowing us to come together, even on this platform, to be in your presence, Abba Yah, to seek your face. Abba Yah, we just ask that you put your hedge of protection around all your children that are trying to obey your commandment and come together, Abba Yah, to gather ourselves together wherever we are, scattered through the four corners of the earth, Abba Yah. Bless and protect us. Feed us the heritage of Jacob. Bless all households, all Knessets, all assemblies, Abba Yah, that are trying with all their heart, with all their soul, and with all their might to walk in all your ways, Abba Yah, and honor, shamar, keep the covenant that our forefathers pledged, vowed, promised to keep. In all things, Abba Yah, Tob and Ra, we say Todah Rabba Abba. Blessed are you, Yahweh. Blessed is your name, Yahweh, and blessed is he that comes in your name. Hallelujah, hallelujah, aman wa aman.
Hallelujah, 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 amen and amen. All right, Mr. Bakar, we're going to be going back to some reading today, trying to keep our diet balanced as we possibly can so that everyone is getting some of what they need. So today we're going to be going back to the reading, but we're going to be going back to the beginning. Is that the wrong thing? Stop, that's not the one I wanted. Where is it? Why is it not showing up properly? Don Yakwa, what are you seeing on the screen?
It says Hebrew Bible, and we see Genesis chapter 1, Bereshit.
My screen has multiple things going on. Okay, Toda, sir. All right, so just a real quick reflection on what we're doing. So in our cultural portion, sometime we'll be discussing certain cultural aspects of the walk, and the language being one of them. So we want to focus on the language because we know that the word itself was not written in English or Greek or Latin. It was written first in Hebrew. Hebrew was the language in which the Most High spoke unto the children of Israel. We know that just from reading the Decalogue of Sirach, Ecclesiastes, it tells us that things that are written in the Hebrew or things that are spoken in the Hebrew has a more powerful or more strong vibration. The reason for that is because the meaning that you get from the Hebraic terms versus the meaning that you get from certain terms in English, sometimes the English or another language, when something is translated, could have more of an abstract meaning that does not really cover the actual focal point that the Hebrew is trying to get us to see. When studying the Hebrew, what we find out is the Hebrew language itself is a very concrete language, whereas in English and other languages sometimes have this abstract sort of, maybe, I might, whereas in Hebrew is do this, don't do that, up, down, left, right. It's a more direct language, and it's communicating a direction and telling you in which to walk. So as we study the word, I do know some people may not be interested in the language, but there are those who actually want to learn the language. And so there are several of us now that have small ones, newborns and so on, that are growing and they're not yet speaking. However, the way that they retain or start to learn their language or the language that we're speaking is by repetition, by hearing the sounds over and over again. Just like when you tell a baby, 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 then they start trying to say baby. It's not that they're sitting out of a book and just constantly studying a book. They're hearing the sounds. You're pointing to baby, letting them know what a baby is, and then their vocabulary and things start to grow even from an infant, just from us repetitively imparting into them words. So this portion, and I know a lot of times when we have newer people coming in, sometimes we go away from the language somewhat, so that when someone new is tuning in, we can try to give them information that will be of a spiritual value. But this language is actually of spiritual value to many of us, and it's very important because without us knowing the language or even knowing how to dissect the language as it's written and verifying that what is in Hebrew is actually in English, we don't always know if the text that we're given is going to be accurate according to what did the Most High actually say in the set apart tongue. So it's of utmost importance. And the goal that I have in mind is not that we are having drawn out Hebrew classes or Hebrew studies, but as long as we're getting our vegetables in each week and we're studying or we're going over and we have some repetition, our vocabulary would grow, and we get to the point where we can hold conversation one with another and actually return to speaking our set apart language and understanding from the Hebraic mindset more so. So I'm going to try to have this as balanced as possible, but I don't want to continue to go away from it when so many people were advancing and definitely enjoying their Hebrew and their Hebrew studies. So we'll be going back into that today because it's very important, and we will be covering the Torah while we're doing this. So we're starting off with Bereshit, which we have here, Bereshit, which in the KJV, they call it Genesis, but in the Hebrew, the name of the book is Bereshit, which is in the beginning. So I'm going to start off with volunteer readers. Each reader will get to read at least a couple verses. So who wants to be the first volunteer to get your reading practice in? All right, Bayet Francis, the floor is yours.
Hallelujah. Toda More. First, I want to give praise, honor, and esteem to Yah, and also acknowledge my Ish as my covering. Which verses?
Well, I was, since you're going to be the one starting off, we're going to switch you up because I know you like a variety, you like to be mixed up. So, so I'm not going to even let you be the first volunteer. I'll call on you when I'm ready for you because I want you to get you something different. So I won't let you be the first one to read. I'll let someone else start us off, but I'll let you know when you're coming in. So, okay, Coach Shaquan, you're the first reader.
Which verse do you want me to read?
1 and 2.
1 and 2. Ooh, okay. Bereshit, bara, Elohim, 8. Hasha Mayim. w- Wa8. Haaret. Waha Yaret. Oh. Waha Ret.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, Hayaha. Ha. Ya. Ayata.
Okay, hallelujah.
Ayata.
Mhm.
To
Mm-mm. Look what's, see that, look at the vowel point right there.
Toha.
Mhm.
Tohu.
Mhm.
Tohu.
Mhm.
Wabo. Who.
Okay. Mhm.
Wa. Wakusho.
Mhm. Okay, so this dot on the top here, the second one is not a vowel. That's just
Oh,
so that's a part of this letter.
okay.
Remember, sometimes this letter here, you can have the dot on the right-hand side, which is telling you to pronounce it with an SH. And when you have the dot on this side of this particular one, it's telling you to pronounce that it's an S only. So go back from the beginning of this one.
Wa. Ku.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. Okay.
You got this one
Wako.
here. Yeah, okay, now.
Wako. Shek. Wako Shek.
Okay, hallelujah.
L.
You got it again.
All.
Mhm.
Pana.
Sometimes we say panah, but they have a vowel point here as what?
Alpane.
Hallelujah.
Kahom.
Good job.
Wa.
Okay, this one is,
Waro.
go ahead, sound it out.
Waro.
Okay.
Waro.
Okay, so this one is going to be hard, and when we get to the some rules, I will explain this better. But this is actually Waruak, okay? And there's some Waruak, but what it looks like is Waruaka or Ra Waruka, because generally you pronounce the vowel after the consonant, but in this particular instance, you have Waruak, okay?
Waruak.
Mhm.
Elohim.
Mhm.
Mara.
Mhm.
Kep. Pet.
Fet, America, Fet.
Pet.
Mhm.
All. I'm sorry. Panay.
Mhm.
Hama. Yaim.
Okay, so go back to verse 1. What words do you recognize on your own in verse 1, what words do you recognize as far as when you sounded them out? What's a word that when you sounded it out, you know the word?
Bereshit, which is in the beginning.
Okay.
Elohim, so in the beginning, Elohim.
Okay, so she recognized Elohim, which Elohim is going to be one that's going to be translated as God in the English, but we know it's mighty one of power. That's good. Anything that you recognize?
You said it was pointed to or directed to.
What Elohim created?
And Ashamarim, which is, I recognize it, but I always get that word confused. So can you clarify what that word is or what it means?
Hashemayim?
Yes.
Okay, so the actual word here, the root word is Shemayim. Shemayim. So Shemayim. So this hey ona is a prefix, which is gonna make it be the. So this hey is representing the word the in English. So just this one letter is representing the, but the actual root word is here, Shemayim. So so Shemayim is heaven. So this is the heavens. Okay.
Okay, I get that, because I always get Shamayim. I know what Shaim means is heaven, but okay, that makes sense now. Toda.
Okay. So good job. So what I'm showing is that over repetition and you doing it, you're getting familiar. What you'll start being able to do is identify some of the root words. And for those that are new to this, the reason why it takes us a little bit of time when we're trying to read this is because just like Bereshit, these words, this appears to be one word, this appears to be one word, even this appears to be one word, and this appears to be one word. However, what you're going to find out is the root word here is going to be Rosh, those three letters right here, Rosh. So this bet in the front and this Yod Tav on the end are added. So we have Bereshit, and then here, Shemayim is the root word, which is heaven, but then we have the prefix hey here, which makes it the heavens. This word is not translated into English, but it's pointing to exactly what did the Most High create. So it says in the beginning, so we have Bereshit in the beginning, bara created, Elohim, she recognized this word. So that's she knows this word as well as this word in her vocabulary already. And so this et and this et or eight is the same. They don't translate into English, but they're pointing to the subject of the matter. So why eight? So what did he create? He created the heavens. Why eight? And the root word here is aretz, which is earth. So we have this hey on front of this again, which is making it the earth. So the what eight, the heavens, he created the heavens. What eight, which is pointing to, and he created, what else did he create? Ha, which is added, aretz, the earth. So I'm just showing that from practice, from the time that Akoti Shaquan has been practicing, she's now learned to be able to identify her consonants, which are the letters. She's learning to pronounce the vowel sounds, which are each of these letters that's underneath for those who are new. So not the letters underneath, but these symbols that are underneath, which tells her how to pronounce the words. And sometimes some words can be pronounced multiple ways, depending on the way the vowels are pointed. So good job, Shaquan, good job. All right. Is there a question in the chat? Oh, okay. Hallelujah. All right, who wants to be next? All right, Zamiri, you're next. You got verses 3 and 4.
Waya Mer, Elohim, Yahi, or Waya he or Wa or
No, you're close.
Wayara, Elohim, Et Haor, Ki Tov, Wayabadel, Elohim, Bain, Haor, Ubain, Hakoshek.
Okay, what words do you recognize in any of those?
Hakoshek is darkness.
Okay, so she recognized Hakoshek, which is here, Hakoshek. So the root word here, Koshek, is dark or darkness. Hakoshek is going to be the dark. Okay, what else?
Wayadabel is divide.
Mhm. So she recognized the word for divide, which is this word here. Again, the word is going to be badal in the root form badal, but right here we have waya badel, which is and he divided. So she recognized divide. So y'all can see that over practice and over routinely going through these, vocabulary will be growing. So she remember divide. What else?
Or is light.
And she remember or. So ha-or. So again, when translating, you see here that this really here does really look confusing how this is all joined together. But the root word that she says here is or, which is light, but this is ha-or. So ha-or, so she remembers the word for light, okay?
Tob is good.
So she remembers tob, which is the word for good, okay?
Is Bane berry?
It says Bane what?
Is Bane berry?
Is Bane very?
I don't remember Bane. I can't remember Bane. I think that's it.
Okay, all right, and of course I know you already knew. Yeah, okay, good job. So so she remembered some of the words there. So as we're going through, we have what you did 3 and 4, right?
Mhm.
So Wayomer Elohim, of course I know you know Elohim. Or Wayomer Elohim, and so and said and he said Elohim Yahi or. So what we're seeing is when we're reading this in Hebrew, we can see over in the English that it's lining up Wayomer. This is and so again, both of these are prefixes. The root word here is amar, which is say. So it says Wayomer and he said, who is the and he said Elohim. So this is saying the mighty one, the power of God said, even though it's in reverse order in how we say it in English. Yahi, which is be or exist, be or be like, wa Yahi, and there was light. So we can see that in our English translation, it is very close to the actual understanding that is written in the Hebrew and the Hebrew. Okay. So Kiara, you're up. You got verses 5, 6, and 7.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. 5. Okay. Wayakra Elohim Laor Yom V'lachoshek Kara Laila Vayehi Arev Vayehi. Ooh, is that Boker
Mhm.
Yom Echad Vayomer Elohim Yehi Rakia Batok
Good job. Mhm.
Hamayim Vihi Mavdil.
No. This is gonna be. Mhm.
Mavdil.
Mhm. Okay.
Mavdil. Oh, Mavdil.
Mhm.
Bain Maim Lamaim.
Hallelujah.
Vayaas
Mhm.
Elohim et Harakia wait, that's the same one. Okay. Vayavadil
But look at this one.
Bain.
Hold 1
Oh,
second. They switched the vowel point on. It's the same word, but they switched the vowel point. Okay. Mhm.
Vayavadel.
Mhm.
Vayavadel Bain. I'm going too fast. Hamayim Asher Matahat.
No, look at it again.
Excuse me. Slika. Mitahat.
Not hot,
La,
not hot, but
Mitahat.
mhm,
La Rakia.
mhm,
Uvain. Hamayim. Asher. Me'al. La Rakia. Vayehi. Ken.
hallelujah, hallelujah. Superb reading, superb reading. It was great, great job. So in the verses that you read, what's some of the words that you can identify on your own at the moment?
Okay. Starting from 6.
Yes. Mhm.
And he spoke, and he said, Elohim exist. Rakia, I don't know.
Okay, so because this one repeats, I'm gonna go ahead and give you this one so everybody get familiar with it. So rakia is the word is utilized for firmament, and it is utilized so many times in this chapter. So this is how it becomes repetition, and you start remembering it. So rakia is firmament. Okay.
The Hamayim is the waters.
Okay, so Hamayim is the water. So again, Mayim is water. Hamayim is the waters. Good job.
And existed. But deal. I know your bot said that's divide, so I'm gonna go with that. In dividing, Bane, from the water and the water.
Okay.
Not so, and the water from the water.
Water from the waters. Okay, good job.
Yashir, yeah, I don't know that one. Elohim again, Et is pointing to Harakia, we learned is firmament. And divided. I still don't know what Bane is.
Yeah, it's going to be more of like a between.
Okay. And then Hamayim, the waters. Asher, that's Amir. I don't know. I don't know. Mitat. Rakia is the firmament.
Okay. So jump down to verse 8 because it's going to start repeating itself. So you see how your vocabulary is building, okay?
Yakra is to call out. Okay, so, and to call out Elohim, and called out Elohim, the Rakia is firmament. And Shamayim, we learned, is the heavens and existed. Erev, I thought that was land, but I'm wrong because land is Eretz. Okay.
So that's evening. Erev is evening.
Okay, evening. Erev, evening. Oh, okay. So this is and existed the evening and existed the morning. Day Shani is 2.
Okay, hallelujah, hallelujah. Great reading. So what you can see is that just from what you can identify, and God called the firmament, which you've already said, Wayikra, Elohim, and he called, who's the he? Elohim, to Rakia, the firmament, Shemayim. So, and Elohim called the firmament heaven, and there was, or there existed evening, because he already created evening and morning. There was evening, and there was morning, or there existed evening, and there existed morning, a second day, or day 2. So you can see that as we're going through and we're reading, our vocabulary will start to grow, and and as we build a vocabulary through the repetition, of course we won't get into a lot of grammar rules, so on and so forth, but right now we're just trying to be able to identify and then we go into the grammar rules and have more of an understanding. But this word here that Koti Kiara just covered, quara is the root word, but here we have wayikra when she says, so she knows to call out. So in our study last night when we was going into the feast days of the Most High, this word quara is the same word when Moses was told to proclaim the feast of Yah. So the quara is to call out, to make known, to speak something. So when he said, these are my feasts, he told Moses to quara, call them out, proclaim them, noise it abroad, publish them so that people know what my feasts are. So here we're seeing how quara is used. So here we have Wayikra and Elohim, and he called Elohim La Rakia. So he called the firmament Shemayim, seeing how, again, as we're saying, the Hebrew language, also the function of it, when we get to the commandments of these feast days, so on and so forth, when you see the application of these words in other texts, you can also get a better understanding of the reason why we would never think his feast days are done away with, because he says, call them out, proclaim them, publish them. And that's the same word that he used throughout here. He called the evening one thing, he called the light one thing, he called the darkness one thing. He called the firmament heaven, so we're seeing he called this day one. So we're seeing how he's proclaiming these things. So when you go back to, as we covered last night, about proclaiming his feast days, he's making them known. So we cannot undo and recall something different that the Most High has already proclaimed himself. So that was a Gadol Tov reading, Akoti Gadol Tov reading. Hallelujah. All right. Is there anyone else that wants to volunteer before we get ready to close this section out? On the screen, will go back down. Do we have anybody else that wants to do a hand? Okay, yes, sir. Zakane, get your reading in, sir.
Morey, I didn't want to get into reading. I wanted to make a point, if that's all right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please, Zakane.
Like you said, that quara called out, and I'm gonna go into it a little bit more in the 2 minute. But it's really in our culture, in our language, it's really saying he made it significant. He purposed it. It's not just like that's what he called it. It's like he made it significant. That quara is something that the Most High signified. He made it significant. He made it important with the particular purpose. Quara.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. Todas Zakane. So, Mishpachah, at this point, that's going to be it for the culture today. And we're going to go ahead because we can see the Ruach is already aligned. So, y'all did an outstanding job for you all who have read. And Zakane, I now yield it to you so that you can go ahead and finish bringing that warning on out.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. Tov lesson in the culture, Morey. Tov lesson. And I want to say too, Tov reading. Tov reading. Your vocabulary is picking up. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Okay, so Shabbat Shalom, Mishpachah.